Atlanta Families Award for Excellence in Education. You rock! For real, you rock, for real. Thank you so much for everything.
So again, all
So-
right, we're going to talk to you again about you got. I guess you always I can't talk. You always got to keep those kids in your head, don't you?
I do.
mean, I bet you-
They're in my heart, and I do. I can pull them up at any time. I can pull up any kid anytime, and I can give you a profile on them down to how many classes are left, where they are with SAT, if they're homeless, the MARTA card is needed today. I can look at them coming in the door and pretty much know if I need to pull them to, or they'll just come to me and say, can we talk? We're having a bad day.
What did the kids tell you?
Everything.
Being homeless and going to school, I just can't imagine. What is it? What do you hear?
I hear stories that may seem like it's hopeless for them, but this is a place of hope. I have a student who is a diabetic. He's on insulin. He's homeless. They too live in their car, but he's at school every day. I have teenage moms who go home to sometimes no food. I have a 93-year-old grandmother who brought a great-great-grandson to us and said, I need your help with this child. He has to graduate. And she signed her ex. And guess what? He graduated the other day. She signed that ex. She said, I may sign an ex, baby, but that boy know I'm not playing with him. And at the end of the day, he walks across the stage. And right now, he's getting ready to put together a package for Savannah State. He wants to go to college. I have students who come in and they don't know if they're going to go home to a lighted house or table set. When you have 30% of your population that's homeless, that's a pretty big deal, because then you have to start removing barriers so that they can learn, so that they can catch up, so that they can stand a little straighter. When you have students who come 2 hours, they ride that MARTA and they change trains and they change buses, but they get here. And these are kids who people said did not want to come to school, but they come 2 hours to sit in a classroom.
That just breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Because I did things, and the lady from the radio station. I mean, we could not keep it together. She's been doing this for the radio station. It's Karen, her name, for 15 years, every year, and this is the first time that she got choked up.
Wow.
Because she has not seen a mother that showed up and didn't want anything. But when people gave her things, she didn't want to take it.
Wow.
So, oh man.
Wow. We have a pantry of clothes. We have a pantry of food. We have great communication and relationship with homeless shelters. I had a student who came last year, Chris Cole, came last year, stayed until March, had to go back to Chicago, and decided that he really had to get his high school diploma. So he returned this year homeless, and he's staying with a student who was homeless last year, who understood the journey of a homeless student and gave him a place to stay. And Chris will graduate in December, and we're looking for employment for him. But just the stories, and I was sharing with my husband, it really is about meeting them at the first level of real. And that is unpacking all the baggage. That is finding out what are the barriers, letting them know that we hear you, letting them feel that this is a genuine second chance. No one will go back and say, remember when. Allowing them the opportunity to have a voice. Sometimes they just don't get it out. There's not enough time to get it out. You have to make time for them. You have to say, I hear you and I see you. And when you do that, we do this thing called Journeys here, and all of the administrators and teachers, we tell them about our journey so they'll know that it just didn't happen, that, you know, there was some hard work, there were some disappointments, there were some bad decisions, but we made it too. We start that journey by showing, there's a movie called Hook, and Robin Williams is playing Peter Pan in the movie. And he's all grown up, and he goes back to Never Never Land, and they don't believe he's Peter. And he goes to a reflection pool, and this little boy comes over, and he does him like this. And he says, "Oh, there you are, Peter." And there you are, Charlie. We do that because we know we have to do that with our students, because they come to us, that's not where they are. We find them. We say, "Oh, there you are." And when you can find them, you can bring them out. But you have to have that "there you are" moment. And it is value added for everybody who goes there, for everybody who says "there you are." And they realize that it's genuine. They realize the hugs are genuine. They realize the encouragement is genuine. They realize the work that happens here is genuine. And they value it. They see it as a safe haven. Nobody has to have a resume. You don't have to be a gangster here, even though you may be a gangster on the street. You don't have to use profanity here. You don't have to have the loud voices here. You don't have to say, "Here I am, we all see you," because we've already found you. And I think that creates a culture where they realize it's bigger. It's bigger than just coming to school. It's coming to a place where not only academically, but socially, emotionally, you're going to be accepted and your needs are going to be put on the table, and we're going to find resources for them. And so it's like coming home.
That's, wow.
It really is. It's like coming home. So when you say Atlanta families, it really is a big family. It's like coming home.
You are epitome of believing in these kids.
You have to. Okay, because they have so many stories. And a lot of time, adults are the reason for where they are. You know, they were the latchkey kid who taught themselves what manners or values were. They were the kids who had teen moms, and everybody has the same ringtone, and everybody wears the same clothes, whether it's appropriate or inappropriate. They are the kid who has the W-2 form. And so when they come here, you have to treat them as young adults, because they are. They are the kids who never seen a dad and wonder what was wrong with me. Or mom is strung out on drugs and they can't stay awake because they stayed up all night looking for that mom in the street. So if that kid is asleep, you have to know the story before you wake him up. Or you have to have a pillow to put on his head and say, "I'll wake you up next block."
Thank you for what you do.
They really are great kids. All of them. Even the one with the 25 pages of discipline. If you look in that discipline file long enough, you'll find that child. I do have one kid. He had like 25 pages of discipline, and we delved in it, and it was the same things over and over. And we figured out he was hyper. Not bad, just hyper. And I said to him, I said, "Have you always been like that?" And he said, "I have." He said, "It's always got me in trouble." And we actually researched it, and we found some strategies that would help him in class. And the thing that helps him the most is to listen to music. And he has not had another write-up since we sat down with him. And we let him go through the research with us. And those two teachers that wrote him up, I said, let's do something. There's something wrong here. I say it's not. I say, we can't take the same road that everybody else took. We can't write them up. It doesn't work. You can see in 25 pages of discipline it didn't work. And so when the teachers came in and we researched attention deficit disorder, and they were reading it and they had all these aha moments, and I was just like, yes, it's about finding solutions. It's not about blaming the kids. And he came in and he was reading and he was just like holding his head like this, like, oh, it is something that exists. It's not. You could have put a crown on that kid's head, all of a sudden he was human, he didn't bleed alien blood anymore. And so we sat down and we talked, and we brought him in. We said, what are some things you would like to do? What helps? And so we all agreed on the music. And the reason we agreed on the music, because if you watch him, he go,